Express as a fraction in lowest terms, 45 over 120. Notice that we have this fraction, 45 over 120, and our goal is to reduce this fraction so that it can be in lowest terms. So what number can go into both 45 and 120 without leaving a remainder? Let us use 3. So we have 45 divided by 3, and that gives us 15, and 120 divided by 3 gives us 40. Next, we're going to use, because 15 over 40 is not in simplest form, so we could use another number. And so we're going to use 5. So 15 divided by 5 definitely is going to be 3. And since we use 5 at the top, we're going to use 5 at the bottom. So we have 40 divided by 5, which gives us 8. And so that means that 45 over 20 expressed as a fraction in lowest terms, 45 over 120 expressed as a fraction in lowest terms is 3 over 8. Next, we have 8%, and our goal is to express this as a fraction in lowest terms. Indeed, 8% equals to 8 over 100 when written as a fraction. And you can use the percentage symbol to help to remind you that you have to put the 8 over 100 because you have the slant line, which can remind you of the 1, and the 2 circles, which can remind you of the 2 zeros. But it's 8 over 100. 8% is 8 over 100. But this fraction is not in lowest terms as yet. We have to find a number that can go into both 8 and 100. And the answer is definitely 4. Let's use 4. 4 is not the only number that can be used, but let's use 4. We say 8 divided by 4, and that gives us 2. And we have 100 divided by 4, and that gives us 25. And so that means that 8% as a fraction in those terms is 2 over 25. Next, we have to express as a fraction in those terms 0.875. Again, 0.875. And so what we have to do is we have to take 875 and put it over 1,000. And we know it's 1,000 because notice that we have 3 zeros, right? And the 3 zeros correspond with the 3 digits that we have behind the decimal point. If we had 2 digits behind the decimal point, we would use 100. And if we had 1 digit behind the decimal point, we would use 10. But we have 3 zeros behind the decimal point, so we have 875 divided by 1,000, which adds the 3 zeros. Next, we have to simplify because we have to write this fraction or express this fraction in lowest terms. So we ask ourselves what can go into 875 and 1,000. And so that's when we divide, we get, but we have to divide by in this question to reduce this, we're going to use 25 because 25 can go into 875 and 25 can go into 1,000. And so we have 875 divided by 25, and we have 1,000 divided by 25, and that gives us 35. So 875 divided by 25 is 35, and 1,000 divided by 25 is going to be 40. Next, we have 35 over 40. Now, 35 over 40, what we're going to do is we still could simplify this fraction because we could use 5 because 5 could go into both 35 and 40 without leaving a remainder. And so we say 35 divided by 5 and 40 divided by 5. Well, 35 divided by 5 is definitely 7, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. And so that means that 0.75 expressed as a fraction in lowest terms is 7 over 8. And that's the answer to this question.